Okay, am I back? We back? Remember when I was saying earlier that my computer could die or something, or I could have a disconnection when we had the sound alert of like the Windows problem? And then I said, wait for like 2 hours. We are almost having 2 hours of stream, and then it died. See, that's the pattern of this stream. Yeah, my Donnie Darko book is right here with Frank, the rabbit. This scary thing that made me not watch this movie for many years. This one book publisher, they do amazing books. Like they even have the date of the tragedy on the sides of the book. Actually, this is the clock, right? It's like the amount of hours, I think. Yeah, I think it's like 28 days, 6 hours, 42 minutes, and 12 seconds. I believe that's it. And it also came with a bookmark of a plane. It's so great. And then on the back it has the lyrics of the Killing Moon song, right? Which is on the soundtrack of it. Yeah, I love Donnie Darko for its kind of culture, or like the atmosphere the movie has, the melancholy of it. Not really the time traveling stuff, you know? You know something fun about this book? It has the... In the movie itself, there is a book that will explain about time traveling, and it's a book by a character. I forgot the name of the character. But this book right here, it has that movie book in here that you don't know because they never read that book in there, in the movie, but you can read that book in here. So by the time I get to it, I'm curious to read that one book. I forgot about the character. I think it was the old crazy lady. I think, yeah, the old crazy lady had a book she wrote, and then that book is in here. Maybe I should rewatch Donnie Darko because I'm forgetting things. I'm actually forgetting many things. I gotta say that my memory has been getting worse in general. But anyway, I have not seen the sequel to Donnie Darko. Dark is complex, but it's worthy, right? And you can understand it with like a rewatch or explaining videos. It's super great. So are we fighting that? You know what that reminds me a little bit of? I was talking about Earthbound. That reminds me of one of Earthbound's enemies. Well guys, I'm going to focus on this fight because this is probably going to be bad. Mister, are you either Brazilian or Argentinian, or like do you speak either Portuguese or Spanish? Because you said Effie. Effie is like F, right? In English. So I got your reference in there. Well, here we go. Wait, you are a cheeseburger, huh? So, this is the security droid X. Wait, this is not the boss. It's just an upgraded minion, I would say. This is not the boss. If this were the boss, they would give me a different song. And it has, I mean, it has 1000 HP though. Well, let's be careful, shall we? Should I try stunning it just for fun? Let me test this. 84 is fine. Then it's weak to water and electricity. So I will wait until my party members get to hyper mode to use my strongest attacks, right? Oh, you just happened to mod for an Argentinian? I see. Yeah, you said Effie. That was like F in Portuguese or in Spanish, right? Speaking on which, we could... Oh wait, before I jump into another topic, let me go back to what I said I was going to say, and I have not. Donkey Kong, right, which was what brought up the Smash Brothers talk and everything. Fun facts about Donkey Kong. Victor, I hope you are still there. Victor, did you know that Dixie's name was almost Dixie, DDN? Yeah, in the list of possible names for Dixie Kong, DDN was one of them. So I was thinking, no, that would make her very close to Diddy Kong, right? But thankfully Dixie is much better in my opinion. Yeah, she was almost named DDN. Another fun fact, the bears from the third game, they were actually planned to be in the first Donkey Kong Country game, but they were ignored or like left behind, and then they kind of went back to that idea for the third game. Another thing that I didn't know was that Kiddy Kong from the third game, the Donkey Kong character that everybody kind of doesn't like, he is the younger brother of Chunky Kong from Donkey Kong 64, and he is the cousin of Dixie. Because there was also a mystery on like what is the connection between Dixie Kong and Kiddy Kong, right? They are cousins, and then he's the younger brother of Chunky Kong from DK64. This one blew my mind a little bit. You guys know Funky Kong's theme from the first game, right? Which also sounds very different from the rest of the soundtrack. The reason is because that song was first originally planned to be a Killer Instinct song. Yeah, Funky's theme was originally a Killer Instinct song, but then they put it on Donkey Kong. What else was there that I was surprised about? Oh wait, let me heal Dave. Oh yes, there was a connection between Donkey Kong and Battletoads. And I think it's about the Kremlings, like the crocodile enemies. I believe the Kremlings were originally planned to be Battletoads' enemies, and then they kinda used them for Donkey Kong. There is also that connection in there. Okay, so now that Alisa has the Hyper, I can go for Water for amazing damage. Why is this fight easier than the 3 minions from before, right? Chon is still alright. So let's go for Pistol. This guy hates Dave, but I'm actually attacking with him. And now I'm healing him. And I'm going to... Never mind, actually now... Oh my god, Gabriel, thank you so much! Thank you so much for the Prime, man! Wait, Victor's laptop is acting up a bit? Dude, if you need to like restart or anything, do it and then I hope you can fix it. Fun Donkey Kong fact, Nintendo forgot... Wait, they forgot it? What? They did? Come on, Nintendo. When was it though? I also didn't know that. I will check on my notes. Let me check on my notes to see if I can remember any other DK fun fact that I haven't said. But I think I remember them all. Yeah, the Kremlings were originally going to be used on Battletoads, and then Funky Kong's team was for Killer Instinct. The bears were idealized for the first game, but they were dropped and then only released on the third game. Oh yeah, one of the bears was based on Banjo's design. There is also that. But then I don't remember, or I don't know, I didn't write in here which one was the bear based in Banjo, but I think I... by the looks of their... As they were all bears, I think you can compare and see which one is the Banjo one, right? Oh yeah, I think it's the one that has even a necklace. Because Banjo has his necklace. And then Didiane was one of the names for Dixie. Kiddy was Dixie's cousin and younger brother of Chunky. Yeah, those were the most shocking fun facts I learned from this video I watched. And then what was the other thing I was going to jump into? I was going to jump into Pokemon. Yes, I was going to talk about Pokemon Violet and Scarlet. Because we were talking about some theories for the game last stream. And now I have some couple more theories. It must have been last year of the year before. Oh, so it was not this year? Oh, you know something else Donkey Kong I did this week? I was sunbathing and then I will take a risk in here. I'm going to use I guess on Dave. And then I believe that Chon has her healing ability, right? But just in case, I'm going to recharge Alisa. Yeah, she has her healing ability, but I'm going to focus. So on the next round or next turn, we can heal everybody. Okay, Dave was safe, so now he's going to be healed. But then he doesn't have an attacking... Oh yes, I can use this. The Shield Breaker. Sure, and then Alisa is going to attack with her Hyper, I hope. Yes, like I planned. Let's go water damage with Shield Break. Nah, holy cow, that was so good. And then we can heal everybody now. You see the improvements in here? Now I'm thinking with portals. Although Dave can't attack with anything in his hyper turn. I mean, try stunning him? No, I should actually heal. Alisa has her healing ability, that's good. But... oh, only 29 of HP? Come on. There we go. But I still don't think that was the boss. It was just a mini boss or like upgraded minion, you know? But hey, the strategies were much better now. I'm happy for that. What I was talking about before the fight though? Oh yeah, I was going to say that the other Donkey Kong thing I did was listening to the soundtrack of Donkey Kong Country 2, but the restored soundtrack. There is an YouTube channel that this one guy tried to like remove the noises of the original soundtrack, and he did a great job. And then I was sunbathing with my earbuds listening to those restored HQ quality, or high quality, right? HD quality, fantastic soundtrack from Donkey Kong Country 2. It's so good. I don't remember the name of the channel anymore, but if you guys look for it on YouTube, like Donkey Kong Country 2 restored soundtrack, you probably will find his channel. Like Sticker Burst Symphony, Mighty Melancholy, even Disco... how is that one named? Disco Train. You know, Disco Train that has the screaming from a girl sound? From that restored sound effect. Was it on that song though? I know there is... I think it was. Wait. No, never mind. Never mind. Yeah, there is a scream of a girl like in that song, but I'm thinking on the B level? Wait, what was the level? Memory, come on, come on. Also, hey Ultros, what's up, man? I'm talking about Donkey Kong Country 2's soundtrack right now. But I'm trying to remember the level. Oh no, it was on Mighty Melancholy. There we go. Yes, on Mighty Melancholy, when there is that part of like kind of humming, right? When there is that moment on the restored song that this guy worked on, that humming part sound, or maybe it was planned to be the zingers buzzing, like the bees, right? Buzzing for that. So it's now for me uncertain if it was really someone humming or if they were using the buzzing from the bees, the zingers, that's their name, doing the zzz, and then it sounds like if they were really using the bees to make that sound in that song, I thought it was even more fantastic because that was very original. Although in the game itself, to me it sounds like a person making that song, not really the bees. Especially because that was not the bee level per se, it was the mine level. That part is really magical, it's so good. And you know what else makes me very happy? One of the best Donkey Kong music covers on YouTube is the Burning Idol channel, and they are a duo of Brazilians. And after many years, they finally dropped a new video covering Bio Boogie, which is the swamp level. Such a very good song plus visual edition they have done for that one video. Highly recommended. Burning Idol. It is the Zinger song or sound, right? But I always thought it was a person, and then that one restored song or video made me think, oh, maybe this is the singer. Or wait, this is the Zinger. SNS Music had to be pretty resourceful. Yeah, they believe they did it that powerful to match, for example, the soundtrack of Sonic games for the Mega Drive, because the Mega Drive also has amazing tracks, even though I haven't played Mega Drive that much. Oh my god, speaking on Sonic, I have news. This week, I accomplished, although I will also accomplish this one day on stream, but I accomplished one of my life goals that I have since my childhood, which was to beat Sonic 2 without save stating. I was waiting for me to feel sleepy to like go to bed, and then I was playing my 3DS, and then I went randomly to Sonic 2 to like revive the memories of Sonic 2. I beat that game without save stating finally, because the other time I had to save state in the final boss. I finally did it because I got used to the timing of the final boss. And there it, oh my god, wait, am I stuck in here? What the heck? No! Guys, I think I'm stuck. Let's save. Wait, what if I save and then I'm stuck in there? No, please, I'm not stuck in there. No, there is no way. But I am stuck in here. Oh no, I saved on the same slot. What if I... No, I'm not respawning here because I'm going to respawn from the beginning. Yes, I'm going to respawn from the beginning. Amazing, good job! This is giving me some flashbacks of Tales of Symphonia, when the same thing happened when I was like exploring some corners of that game and then I got stuck. I don't know if Victor is still here, but do you remember that, Victor? Yes, I got stuck. Can I reset, please? Or do I need to close the game and open it again? I think I need to close the game. Dang it. Please don't make me lose my save though. I was dumb. I should have saved on another slot. Let me open it again. I think I will be safe because when I started the game today, I was not inside of the building. And I'm pretty certain that I saved the game inside of the building. So they are going to respawn me like outside. Wait, why is it saying that I could not sync my save with Steam Cloud? What? Wait a minute. Okay, there we go. So since I was mentioning my Sonic 2 victory, because that game or that final boss was like super annoying and hard to me, do you guys have a game that you love and you always dream to beat it? Now I have Mario Bros. 3. I even tried it a little bit. There is a fortress level in the last world of Mario Bros. 3. See, I'm outside and... I mean, I'm not outside of the building, but I'm not there. That's what matters. I'm not there. So I appreciate that this game saves you or puts you in safe places when loading, because otherwise I would be dead. But in Super Mario Bros. 3 there is the last world and there is a fortress in there that's a maze. I still don't know how to get through that maze. So one day I will get through that maze and probably get to Bowser's Castle and then beat that game. But yeah, Mario Bros. 3 is my next goal on like games I could never beat as a kid and even as an adult, but I will beat them someday because I believe in myself. Congratulations, I mean, I did the OG way on my old Mega Drive when... Good for you, Gabriel! You see, I suck, right? I know I suck. When I was a kid and then you had better reflexes. But then again, good job. Thank you, man. I always get stuck on the beach. Oh yeah, I got stuck on the beach there, yes. Because of the... How are those things called in English? The dressers? No, not dressers. I'm not sure how to call those. Dressing cabins? I'm not sure. But then it was because of that NPC that stood in the way, right? Super Mario Bros. 3 use save states. I have like a crazy ton of lives. I have like 40 lives in the fortress level that I'm stuck in. I can get my 3DS to show that to you. Give me a second. Now that we beat a mini boss, maybe we can have another chatting break. Let me see, Mario Bros. 3. Yes, I have like 40 lives, and maybe after I lose those 40 lives, I will use the save state. Yes, I have a save state in here. Wait, the brightness of this is like at the lowest. Yeah, I have this save state right here. And then I have 39 lives right now. But yes, this is the level. Let me die so I can show it on the overworld. I don't know if you guys know this one level. But I'm stuck in this maze. I don't know how to exit. Someday I hope I can find a way. Yeah, it is this one level right here in the center of the world. It's so hard. So yes, the save states that I'm using are from like outside of the level. Inside of the level, I don't want to be saving it as I progress, right? But yeah, this level is what's blocking myself to accomplish this one dream. But someday I will find a way out of that maze. It's just super hard. But only after levels, yes, I'm doing that too. I'm only using it like in between levels or so. You 100% know their covers, they are amazing, right? Burning Idol is amazing. I actually, let me, can I find it on this old phone? I think I can. I actually have another video game musician recommendation, besides, of course, Victor right there. Victor does amazing covers. Also, Victor, when is your next... Oh no, this phone is like dead on batteries. Maybe my other phone is not recharged already. Let me go check the guy's name because I found his channel this week as well, and I loved his covers. So I kind of wanna recommend his name as well in here, especially because I was looking for that amazing song of like the Wii Sports Resort theme, and then this guy covered it, but also he did a Chrono Trigger cover that I loved too, which was for Corridors of Time song. But his cover had some personality, you know, it has some soul in there. I felt a little bit different from his cover than like maybe from other covers or from the original song itself. So he is very talented, and I wanna kind of promote him in here. Let me get his name. Okay, I got his name. I also recommend checking out Guitar Geek 25 on YouTube. Yeah, Guitar Geek 25 on YouTube. They should like pair up, right? Victor, the guitar nerd, and Guitar Geek 25. Did I say 22? It's 25. The usernames are even very close to each other. Yeah, look up on that guy's YouTube channel. He's something else. And then I loved his Wii Sports Resort cover, but also the Chrono Trigger one. Let me go back. Victor is going to get a snack, alright. What did you have today for dinner, Ultras, and also everybody else? Today I think I will eat some cereal. I don't know if I'll be eating some sandwiches. Because yesterday I ate some sandwiches, but I probably ate too much bread. And then I had a hard time to... Not a very hard time to sleep, but I felt a little bit... I didn't feel 100% basically when I tried to sleep. And then I blamed the gluten from the bread because I ate too much bread. I just can't stand the idea of repeating 3-4 BS level. Oh yes! Yes, the word date of Mario Brothers 3 is like that, it's so annoying. Yes, it's so dead. Or it's so bad as well. Because of the airship levels. Despite being one of the best games I have played in 10 years, I still haven't beaten Lobotomy Corporation. What is that about? You are stuck on day 49 of 50, and it's quite difficult. That sounds like a very disturbing game because of its name, but I'm curious about it. It could be disturbing, but like mysterious, you know? Both Banjo-Kazooie and Luigi's Mansion were games that for you were... Wait, for you, where you for a long time as a kid could get to the last boss but never beat it. That's me in Banjo-Tooie. I still could never beat Gruntilda on Banjo-Tooie. That's going to happen on this channel someday as well. And who knows, maybe even going for 100% on that game, because that's another dream of mine. That's the same for Ultras. Change rooms, yes, that's what I was trying to talk, or to say. Changing rooms, yes. I got stuck in the Tales of Symphonia game because of a changing room spot in there, because there was an NPC that locked me inside that. I don't think I have a game like that where you got stuck like that when you were a kid, really? Donkey Kong Country 2 also got me stuck for many years because of the Toxic Tower level. And then after I grew older, I managed to beat that level, but it's like a traumatizing one, the Toxic Tower. And then now people say that Animal Antics, which is in the like hidden world or extra world, bonus world of Donkey Kong Country 2 is like the worst level. That one I still need to face it because I only like beat the game but never went for the extras. But I know about Animal Antics. I have seen videos about it. I know how terrifying the wind mechanic sounds for the squawks part of it, right? Oh, there is Kid Chameleon. I heard of that, but I can't remember it right now. But I heard of that. But even when you tried later as an adult, you realized the way to beat it was totally BS. That you'll never really find yourself alone because of some dumb reason levels. Or dumb random levels. Oh, you're having soup? Oh wait, I missed your message then. Oh wait, you were not feeling well all day due to lots of beer? Oh wait, you got a hangover? You went to a hockey game. They lost, but it was a good game. You cheer for Toronto, right? And so just had a headache? Oh no, you had some throwing up too? And then you were laying in bed until 5 p.m. just to want to buy soup. I think that's going to be me this week because I'll be taking my booster shot and I'm expecting a reaction. So I'll be down on my bed, probably not eating soup even though I wish, but it's going to be rough. Welcome back, Victor, with chips and dips. That sounds great. I would like some. So just need something that is easy to swallow without thinking or chewing. I would recommend you drinking some milkshake because this week actually, oh, by the way, it's been super hot in Rio. So there was this one day that I should even drink some water. There was this one day that I was like thirsty AF and I did some milkshake in here with apples. It was an apple milkshake with some chocolate how is that in English? Chocolate mix? Yeah, chocolate mix, right? Ultros thinks that nerds are better than geeks. So Lobotomy Corporation is a monster management game. You have a facility that houses SCP-like creatures. And your early goal is to work on these creatures to gain energy. I see, so it's like a simulator game? Banjo Tooie was a challenge too, but I finally could beat. You listened through an entire Wee Momstein album during those attempts though. I'm sorry, Victor, I don't know his music, but I have the feeling it's going to be metal, isn't it? By the name. Oh, there is a chest in here. How did I got trapped? Or how did I get trapped on that corner looking for treasure and then the treasure was like down here? Was this really here before? Oh, by the way, it's open, so I got it before. Oh yeah, it was a weapon for Dave. I forgot to check it. A hype pad? Lives up to the hype! Man, Dave is such... You were talking about geeks and nerds. Dave is in that group. He has a retro pad, a hype pad. What's the next one? The meme pad? Man, this song does remind me of the Super Mario RPG Sunken Ship. So are we finding the real boss? The weird artificial intelligence that speaks to us in here, even though it's now very silent? What the heck is going on in here? So it's a fast guitar-based music. It's like neoclassical metal. knew it! I freaking knew it! It would be like a T-Rex or something. Yes, it's not the robots, come on. I think we found our yes! I'm simply not so sure about this. A tactical retreat is in order, yeah? No, we are facing this. Let's beat the T-Rex. Think of Mozart-ish type of stuff, but just fast guitar playing. The only reference that's coming to my mind right now, even though this is going to be something that I don't know if you guys will have heard this earlier, not sure, but I'm getting flashbacks of some of the Beatmania or like DDR tracks that are basically classical music but electronic. So I'm getting flashbacks of like the Beethoven songs of that game. It's funny because when I was younger and that game was kind of popular, I remember my friends like going for the dance machine, the DDR, and loving the Beethoven mix for that. So I don't know how is the metal version, but I know how is the electronic version from DDR. But it's not 100% classical. Yes, I figure. It's just like the melodies, right? Don't worry, this is nothing we can't handle. Now that's a boss song. So what's your name, cutie? The Beast! It becomes frenzied if the battle lasts for... Wait a minute, do you mean for too long on turns or too long on me picking my strategies? Cat Jam, Boss Jam? Man, I saw an emote. What was it? It was Pug. There was a Pug Jam somewhere on Twitch. His emote or like his gif is amazing. Yeah, Pug Jam. Genius was the person that created an emote for pugs because they do deserve more emotes. They are such a good mini animal, right? My sister has a pug. Oliver says sorry? Why? Oliver doesn't like pugs? Oh wait, that was Oliver typing? I thought it was you, Ultras, like excited for the metal song. I was like, Ultras is like, raise the volume, plus, it's metal. No, it was just Oliver playing with his keyboard, that's fine. Dude, look at, what the heck is going on with this song? Yeah, Victor likes this, I'm not impressed, this is very good. It's kind of like Bach, Vivaldi, and Paganini. I never heard of Paganini before. Went together to form a metal band with lots of fast guitar solos. That sounds like an alternative universe, right? But very good one. Oh, there was a bigger one. Oh my god, Oliver. I know that all too well. What are the names of your cats, Victor? I know that Oliver is also the name of Gabriel's dog, right? And Ritsuru, do you want pets? Am I the only one in here that doesn't have pets? Does Mr. have pets too? Oh, you have... Okay, there we go. Ritsuru is with me. I also don't want pets. Although my family has a Yorkshire named Brad. And then fun fact. This... Last time I was by my parents, right? Last year. There was one day that we were talking about our dog, and like my dad wrote a note, like a message, so we could read it and do something to the dog. I think it was either to get it somewhere or for somewhere. Anyway, my dad misspelled the name of the dog because our dog in there is named Brad as Brad Pitt, the actor. Because, like, for some reason they kind of not look alike, but, you know, they can remind each other for the looks. Anyway, but my dad always thought that the name of the dog was Brad as Brad the food. So he wrote like bread with E. And then we're like, what? No, you always thought that he was named after the food? So yeah, for like 8 years, maybe even 10 years, because that dog is already old. My dad always thought the dog was named after food. Like bread, not the actor. So we were like, no, Dad, it was not like that. Your parents have a little corgi? Corgi. Man, my phone is without the batteries though. I don't remember how is a corgi. Wait! Is it that Japanese one? Like that orangish with like ears that remind a fox? I think I know, and then the tail is like this, very swirled. I think I know what's a corgi now. It's named Ramsey though. The names of Victor's cats, although I will probably say or mispronounce them. Gusta? Although that sounds like a Gustav, right? Like a name. Gusta, Easy, Posbo, Blackie, and Shugan. I like the name Shugan. Reminds me of a YouTuber that I like, Shugakore. Wait, Shugakore. Wait, Conroy. There we go. Conroy. There we go. Conroy. Hot takes. I don't think pugs are cute. No, I don't think they're cute. I think they are funny looking, or like their face is funny, you know. I also don't think they're cute. My grocery store was selling red bananas. It's more like a deep burgundy brown. Red bananas to me are like from Donkey Kong Country, or like Donkey Kong 64 actually. You were very curious to buy them, but you wasn't sure if they were snacking bananas or not. If you could like eat them, is that what you're saying? Or something like a plantain. Oh, that you need to cook. Oh, but cooking bananas is fine. By the way, this monster said that becomes frenzied if the battle lasts for too long. So in case that I get ripped apart because this guy got frenzied, I'm blaming the chat. I'm hoping that its time is based on turns, not like on chatting time, right? Holy Jesus, I'm now a little bit worried, but I still think we are good. In case we're not, I'm blaming chat, not me. You kinda like the name Brad with E. Your parents' corgi is Welsh. But is it the dog that I'm thinking? I'm not sure now. Apparently they taste like yellow bananas, but a hint of raspberry and vanilla. And some other softer texture. I hope they still have them for the next visit. Those were all quite close. Oh, my pronunciations. I know it's like saying the same about someone's child, but bugs not for you. That's the nicest way you can say it. It has a soft G. How is the soft G again? Oh, maybe it is like Justa? Justa. Is that the soft G? You know my weakness? It's not my weakness, it's like this boss mechanic. That's what I'm worried about. The A in Pazball is between an A and E kinda, so it's maybe Pazball? Pazball. It means furball, by the way, and then it's with S sound, not sh. Oh, Sugan, right? Sugan then? Sugan. That was a mistake. I should have saved that water move for the hyper mode. I'm doing that for Zap. This could paralyze him, but I don't think that's going to work. I'm going to go for the Pierce attack. And then let's go for a single pistol. see what can he do. Damage. That's what he does. Damage. As it's your hyper, although I used your attack. But I'm going to not lose or waste this hyper opportunity, so go for Pierce. Yeah, that was worth. And then Dave can heal now, and then on the next turn he has his hyper. And then Sean, he's weak to what? Electricity, water, and what's the third? Fire! So okay, everybody has an advantage here. I'm going to save this for the hyper turn, and I'm just going for another pistol. Okay, so Sean has better defense in here than Dave. I'm going to use her first aid on Sean, and then on the next turn Alyssa is going to recharge. Dave is now on his hyper. Zap. Same goes for Sean. Torch. What is the HP of this guy? Oh, it's 1,000. Okay, now you recharge. Wait! He almost killed freaking Dave. Thank goodness I have the potion. Man. What was this one again? It's a recharge, right? It's not really a recharge, it's just a buff. Huh. Oh, I got the names now, Victor, there we go. Oh yes, I can do this. It's going to be another fire attack. Nice. Alyssa has her hyper for water. And then Dave, you gotta recharge. You should recharge as well. He's getting stronger because of his mechanic of like the longer this gets, the stronger he gets. Oh, by the way, guys, have you watched the new Batman movie with Robert Pattinson? Everybody has been saying it's good, but should I go after it? Dave will get to his finisher, but John still has 2 turns for that. Not the finisher, the hyper, you can kinda know when they are going to activate it by the blue dots under their HP bar. Yeah, when those blue dots are all filled, it's the hyper turn, right? I'm going to use the first aid. Yeah, you can go for hyper. Her hyper is on the next turn. Wait, can I? But I can do the fire attack again, right? Because it's the last gunmancy. My last gunmancy was not the recharge, it was the fire torch. So this is the fire torch. Holy shit! Shield break. You wanna play some games in here? Alien, Dino? Get ready for them, because we are going to... We are going to finish the battle, I guess. I was like, we are going to like start the real thing. I did not know I was that close. He had like 1,000 HP, and then boom, dead. Anyway, at least even though Dave died, he still gets the experience somehow. I heard a lot of, if you like thriller, cop, suspense movies, you should go. If it's not really an unusual hero movie. It's 3 hours long, seriously? It's just like Blade Runner, the sequel. Blade Runner 2049, I think. I may or may not watch it. I need to watch the Spider-Verse, especially because it's now on Netflix. I need to watch the No Way Home Spider-Man movie too. There was something else I wanted to watch. Oh yes, I still have some other series to catch up. I'm now watching The Flash, but I also need to go back to Snowpiercer, that has its 3rd season. I wanted to go back to Riverdale, even though I think it's going to be a bad season. Everybody's leveling up and getting something? Pick me up gun! Oh, is that a revive? It's not, it's just cures ailments and increases ailment resistance. That sucks because a pick-me-up in Mario RPG is a revive. Why is it not in here? Come on. It would be the perfect reference. WandaVision, I'm not planning to watch WandaVision to be honest. Or the Eternals, not as well. No ability is learned. Why? Oh, it's not dead? Hello? What's going on? He's escaping, I guess? You got the dino? Oh! I mean, I guess the objects and the destruction got him instead of you, right? Just a few scratches. I mean, Dave just died, but he seems fine. We did, although you also died. But now we are separate. Oh, wait, what is the word? The junk separated everybody. It's going to take a while to clear out this rubble. I think we are past the worst of it. Keep searching the lab and I will find another way to rejoin you. Be careful. Okay, so we got separated, but we did destroy this thing. What about the artificial intelligence that was talking to us? Is it not going to say anything else? Especially now that its monster that is died. Wait. Is dead. I almost said is died. No, is dead. Yes, we are on our own now. Did you get... Oh. Guys. What? Are they going to resurrect the dino? And then turn this into a 1v1? You know what? I should save the game, right? What if there is a rematch against Mecha Dino? I could fight that guy. Let me check if I got new abilities or new weapons. Steel Striker? No, that's worse. Items, I still have the same. Abilities, those are still the same. Maybe only Sean got something, right, after the fight. I kinda wanna have this fight. It's an Infectorator. Not much of a threat alone, but because it's going to combine with the dino, right? 7, I can do that. That's a locked door. So maybe now, oh, there is a chest here, you see? A stun baton. This is a weapon for Elisa that has the possibility of stunning enemies. Good. And it is stronger, nice. I was going to say that maybe now it's a good moment for us to talk about the Pokemon Violet and Scarlet. Because last weekend, after the announcement, we discussed a little bit of theories, right? And then I also checked out some YouTubers talking about more theories and what they thought about the signs, the references in the trailer. So one thing that got my attention, and I was talking about that last weekend, was how there are many pictures and things in that room where the guard is checking that they resemble grapes. And then the most noticeable thing, you should call it a night, Victor. Alright, man, have a great sleep. Also, I hope we both don't get a crazy reaction after the booster. So I wish you like a good recovery from that. And then we'll talk again next time. But take care, man. Enjoy, and I hope you can get your new Nintendo 64 soon as well. But good night. There is like a plate on the wall showing a grape, or showing grapes, and then on the next, or next to it, on the other side of the wall, there is another plate that at first I thought it was showing a wheel that could like be part of a ship, you know, a wheel ship. Maybe I should say a ship's wheel. There we go. It is actually an orange. So it's like one plate is showing grapes, and then the other plate is showing oranges, which also has you can also see both fruits on a table in that trailer. And now it seems that these games will have something to do towards grapes and oranges. Maybe that's the Scarlet and Violet, but maybe not. But there is more. By looking at the uniform of the protagonists, it looks like a school's uniform. And then the tag seems to show a grape. So maybe this orange and grape thing is related to schools or like clubs or, you know, some sort of, I don't know, group of people that are part of this one organization or membership, who knows, but probably schools or teams, maybe team grape and team orange. But another thing that I haven't noticed is that there is your house, like the house of the protagonist, that is very scarlet colored or like orangish colored, while in front of your house there is a violet looking house. And then that made people think that maybe depending on which game you are playing as, you can start your adventure from a different house, and then your rival could be living in the house next door that's the opposite color from yours. But I didn't notice that until they point that out on the trailer, that the houses are orange and purple or violet. And then regarding the new mechanic that's probably coming up on this game, my original theory was that the new mechanic that has a crystal that looks like a sun, and then that crystal you can see it on the logo for the game's names in Japanese. they could be related to to the types, or typing, Pokemon typing, because of that mosaic that's on the plaza of the city that shows every non-Pokemon type so far. And then I was wondering, oh, maybe the mechanic of this game will be like you can change by using an item the type of your Pokemon, or like the type of a certain attack of a Pokemon, just like, I don't know, Arceus does with his Judgment attack that gets a different type depending on what you give to Arceus. Or Type-No, or even Genesect. Like, those are Pokemon that you can change a type's move, and even the Pokemon's type, by using an item. I think that's going to be the game in here. But there were some people saying that maybe because this is going to be an open world mainline Pokemon game, and I love this idea so much, I hope it's real. Maybe in this region we are going to have every gym for every type, and then you can go to wherever you want, challenge 8 out of all of the 18, I think, existing gyms, and like beat 8, and then you can go for the league, but then you pick which ones you wanna beat, you know. I love that idea so damn much. Is it going to be like that? Probably not, knowing the Pokemon Company, but giving you the freedom to pick which gyms you wanna go, and also the types you wanna fight or challenge. I love that idea so much. If they go open world everything, that should be the way. And yeah, the other people, they kinda think that maybe there will be some typing combinations, and I also like that idea, but I just don't know how they would do it. For example, maybe you could mix up types and create something new, you know, like, oh, this Pokemon is, I don't know, rock and ground, and then by combining those two types you can get something different from that, or like something new out of it. I love that idea too, but then for so many different typing combinations, maybe they won't go for it, right? Yes, it's hard for me to exemplify, but it is an idea that I could kind of understand once I heard about it. For example, I don't know, combining fire and water, and then you get smoke, and then I don't know, there is a special move that is related to smoke, you know, and then you use that finisher like a Z move or something. It's been a while since I have had to hack something myself. There, I got it. This was to open that previous door, right? Yeah, this door. Okay, I think I'm not missing anything. Let's go. I could use this to reach other parts of the lab if only I could unlock it somehow. Like the vents? Those look like vents. I was saying that I started watching The Flash, but I also gave a chance to a new anime. And the anime is Miyoruko-chan. Because I heard that people said it's like Komi can't communicate, but a little bit different because it has a little bit of horror to it. I understood the horror part because the character sees monsters or zombies or like ghosts. Like she can see them in her real life. Although I still need to see more on why are people comparing that to Komi, because I was not very impressed by the first episode only. I need to see if it's going to get better on the second episode. The first episode was not enough to convince me on the anime. But yes, I'm trying this new anime as well, Miyoruko-chan. We have more vessels in here. I will never judge something on one episode only. Yeah. For example, the 7th season of The Flash. The second episode was much better than the first. Have you tried this one, Miyoruko-chan, Gabrielle? Okay, we can hack this one too. Always go for the rule of 3 episodes. I can say the same for Osama ranking, or like the ranking of the kings. Episode 1 was not impressive to me, but episode 2 got me. Yes. Never heard. I think it was one of the animes from the previous season. It was from the... Wait, autumn season? Yeah, right, because now they are during winter. Autumn season. Together with Komi, I believe. Together with Komi, Osama, Blue Period. Blue Period was so good. I'm so happy that next month already we are getting more Komi episodes, because Komi was such a wholesome thing to watch. It looks like this terminal controls the ventilation system, just what I needed. And then more enemies. Lots of boxes. Yes, man, I loved Komi so much. I'm sad that my friend, he was not impressed by Komi. And it's like I can understand, but at the same time it makes me sad, you know? I agree, they did an amazing anime. But I have the feeling that Komi will only hit, or at least hit hard, on people that somehow can relate to what Komi is going through. Or like somehow can relate to the things on the anime. And that's my case. I have had so many problems in my life towards friendships, like fights and things, that I understand how is the hardship of like making a new friend, or like being yourself, or expressing yourself up, or and things like that, you know, or like putting your feelings out, like Komi tries. So those things and topics of the show, they hit me hard. And then maybe because this one friend that I have, maybe his life has been more chill than mine regarding his relationships or something. Maybe he doesn't have this connection to Komi, and then that's why it's not as impactful to him as it's to me, you know? But at the same time, he loves Blue Period. Although Blue Period is about art, and he loves art. But then Blue Period, in my opinion, is way more than art. Like, it's also about social relationships and, you know, situations between people, and knowing what to dream of, and going after a dream, and, you know, learning about yourself. It's very psychological too. And then, if Blue Period can hit him psychologically like that, Komi should as well, but I don't know. Or maybe it just didn't click. And then that's how it is. That's the thing, a lot of people relate to common problems like that. Yes, I do. Same as when watching Blue Period, I did as well. Or Your Voice, I don't know if I have, I think I haven't watched that one. Beastars has many topics as well. Which, by the way, is Beastars Season 3 this year? It is, right? Or did you only tell me that it was just confirmed? Not everything needs to be a big fighting topic. I agree on you totally. Especially because I have been tired of those animes. Although I kinda sometimes think about starting One Punch Man. Because I did like Mob Psycho. And One Punch Man was by the same creator, so I do wanna watch One Punch Man. But not only because of the wholesomeness of Komi that made it my favorite anime of last year. It's also because how smart the show was. In like the references it does, The humor of it was so on point in my opinion. I also liked how every character is like unique regarding their own characteristics, which reminds me a lot of Rema. I'm still surprised that inside or like behind those boxes there is nothing. You know, this looks like it could have a secret. It's like the perfect hideout for a secret, and there is nothing. One Punch Man is not a common anime, kind of a satire of all other fighting animes. That remind me of The Boys. The Boys was also like a satire of superhero shows, which, by the way, did you see that Homelander got arrested in real life? After he kind of fought someone after getting drunk or something? So that's another reason for me to check this one out. One Punch Man. Also, the Umbrella Academy. I didn't think that Umbrella Academy was an usual superhero show, and I loved it. This year we are going to get the next season. Okay, let's enter the vents. Maybe we should wait for Alyssa to come back. No way, Alyssa's counting on us to do our best while she's gone, and I'm not going to let her down. I'm going to turn off the air conditioner, but I hope it doesn't get too hot in here. The same way Gintama used it to be. I heard of that name before, but I have never watched it. Oh, by the way, Gabriel, did you watch the trailer for... Is it called Bubbles? Let me see if my phone is recharged, because if my phone is fully recharged, I'll be able to get this name correctly. Give me a sec. It is recharged. Yes, I think it was just that, like Bubbles. It's a new Netflix movie with like many famous names from anime creators. Even the guy from Attack on Titan is in there. I watched the trailer of Bubbles this week, and I'm interested. I'm curious. I think it's going to be a release for next month only. But I do want to watch that movie. So you also saw it? Yeah, it looks good. It looks good, but also weird, right? Not sure what it's about. Also back there, you mixed two movies. Oh yes, I was. What is that like? I have watched Silent Voice. Yes, if it is the one that I'm thinking about, how they all bully a girl in that movie until this one guy that was like a rebel guy, he kind of changes and then he decides to invest in a friendship with this girl that she was kind of deaf, right? Yeah, I watched that one, but then Your Name, when I went to watch Your Name, I felt the beginning was so slow that I slept. And then the day I tried to go back to Your Name, it was not on Netflix anymore. So I need to find it elsewhere. I know where to find it, I think, but I still gotta go back to it. No way! Alyssa's counting on us to do our best while she's gone, and I'm not going to let her down. Oh, now I have to explore with those two. But she got something new, right? Remember this, Gabriel, the chemist shield? That can cause mutations? We should test that out at some point. Wait, Dave? Equip? Oh yeah, the high pad. So it was an ability. Yeah, she got the pick-me-up gun. Let me just change the locations in here. Yes, I prefer this set better. I'm not sure. We need to see what it does and how it does. Yeah, I'm not sure what was that about. Oh my god. Oh my god. Dino is coming back. Because if this game has no zombies with like, I don't know, viruses, it has robots that will control your body and then kill you. Eek! Now those things are reanimating the dead? As if this place couldn't get any worse. So it will. Mecha Dino is coming up. So those are the Cimerex X, a peaceful species when they aren't reanimated corpses. That's even more dark, right? Like it's getting good animals or creatures into demons. They have no weaknesses? What? Wait, there is another one back there. Wait, what? Never mind, maybe it's just a broken tube of wires on the back that look like feet. Anyway, let's just fight them. He has zero style. No, you should raise that. I'm still like understanding what is the style for, but staying at zero sucks. I got poisoned. We both got poisoned. Okay, I have a strategy. First of all, I will try stunning one. No, stunning them two with Envirohack. Never mind, it only goes for a single one that I cannot pick. Anyway, focus. He got to his hyper, good. And then you are going to heal us both. Even though we raised our resistance to poisoning, they still got us poisoned. Life is beautiful, isn't it? And then now I think I cannot heal myself again. I mean, unless I refresh those two. Or if I use Echo, but then it's going to be on a single target. I would prefer, or I would rather, stay poisoned. Now I need to rest. He's still not that close to die. Yeah, double rest. Okay, you can kill one. He's alive? Come on. Now I need to heal him. Man, Dave seriously needs more HP. He's the party member that is always dying, you know? Okay, Chon, finish this guy. Although it's a hyper attack. Anyway, finish him, it's better. A waste of a hyper, but sure. Then I need to use the potion. And then... I'm attacking. But Dave is now on another hyper? No, but you gotta rest. And I'm going to attack because I wanna see if I can use her hyper. But if she gets attacked now, yeah, they're only targeting Dave, that's good. On the next turn, she can do the hyper. That's okay. I think I can kill you now. There we go. Yeah, this was just a bunch of wires, although we can examine it. It's a remarkable, well-preserved alien corpse. Where? Oh, never mind, it is not wires, it is actually an alien. Was it attacking or fleeing? There is another one in here. Oh, those are... Oh my god, they were serious on the experimentations in here. Oh, money, that's good. A fatal error. Extraction process halted. Extraction, right? What were they extracting from these guys? Just a double check that I'm not missing anything. Oh, you see? Did you turn on the lights, and why couldn't you have done that a while ago? I mean, I missed this computer, I'm sorry. Hey Yoda! This place reminds you of Dead Space? I can see that. It has some horror vibes plus aliens. He's back! After forever! Like, I was even wondering what happened to him. There he is, the freaking weird evil AI that I mentioned that was in this place but only talked to us once. Maybe he has not talked anymore because I was like, oh, I beat the monster, so where is the AI to like say that, oh, I thought he was stronger, or like, good on you that you beat my monster. And then I was thinking, why he's not saying anything? It's because it's not over. The monster is coming back with some sort of resurrecting robot on it, controlling his body. So like the AI is still feeling confident he's going to kill us. When I was like, ha ha ha, there we go, we destroyed your plan. Nope, he has more. Of course, and Seal, yes, we are not dead because we killed your monster, although you are preparing for a round 2 fight. Yeah, pretty good if you stayed alive this long. Everyone gets eaten by the monster by this point. And then now this is remind me of Mother 3 again. There is the ultimate chimera in that game. If it gets you, it's instant game over. Everybody can get eaten by it. Well, we showed that monster a thing or two. I'm nobody's meal. I mean, you were because you died in the fight. So shut up. Is that so? I won't call you a liar since we are such good friends, but the monster is still very much alive. But we clearly killed that thing. Yeah, but this is the game that negative health points exist. They even said that there are ghosts, right, in this game too. They spoiled that. So, of course, being dead doesn't mean it's over. It's just another phase. Which, by the way, there is a Netflix show about life after death that I do wanna watch. Especially because the other Netflix shows that were about this topic did get my interest and I like them. And there is one coming up this month, I think, with like a medium, and then he was doing his sessions with like other people and families. I do want to watch that too. Although I would also be hyped for another season of Unsolved Mysteries on Netflix as well. But I gotta say that Unsolved Mysteries is a little bit disturbing. But it's disturbing good. So for the days that I'm down for that mood, I wanna be checking that out as well. A third season of Unsolved Mysteries, and I think it is confirmed. I just don't know when they are dropping it. We clearly killed that thing. Oh! Yep, things don't stay dead for long here. Unless you are eaten. Not many people come back from that. Anywho, enjoy the lights in your sector. So basically what he's saying is that the only way for us to get rid of the dino is if we were doing a dino barbecue, right? Because things do not stay alive here unless they are eaten. So like to kill the thing, we need to eat it. Barbecue night for everybody. Let's go. And it's gone again. Let's find Alyssa and get out of here. It's not going to be that easy, Dave. Although if it is a barbecue night, Sean has the perfect torch for it. I don't think my dream of barbecue... Oh! There I am. There you are. Alyssa, you're alright. A few robots weren't going to keep me down. I appreciate that the robots that fought us, like fought Alyssa, were much easier than the ones those two had to fight. Now that we found you, we gotta get out of here right now. I don't think so. Found what we were looking for without me? Not really. But that's a good point. Why were we inside of this place to start this conversation? Like, why did we come here? We found something worse? Those little robots, they don't just work on other robots. They can reanimate the dead bigger and better than before. And according to our AI friend, that giant monster we fought is back in commission. Yes? Alyssa was next to him. That's not good, but if we beat it once, we can beat it again. Why does that sound like famous last words? What if actually there is going to be like a... Like, we won't be able to win the fight, but something will interrupt it, and then maybe we'll be able to escape or flee. Those words right there, they point to me that we won't be able to win. That is the spirit, but... Surely we have collected enough intel by now. I disagree. I still don't know exactly why am I in here. Am I in here to just face the monster? Yes, that's what I was asking or wondering. There gotta be something else, right? Like information for us to report. If you say so. Okay, so everyone is back now. I feel a little bit safer. Oh, there is a chest in here. Oh, never mind, I opened it. It's so hard for me to like differ the chests that I haven't opened from the ones I have. It is this one part of the song that goes just like some sound effects of actually the series I was mentioning earlier, Dark. But it is that part of this song that puts me back to the Mario RPG song of the Sunken Ship. It's just that. Another computer? The terminal's busted? Wait, what's this? Did you find something interesting? I'm seeing a lot of references for something called Project Lumina. Huh. These actually remind me of something else about the Pokemon theories discussion I have watched. So, Violet and Scarlet, they are, in my opinion, references to ultraviolet and infrared in the light scope, right? Maybe that's even why, or maybe I should say life or white light range. There we go, white light range, not life, light. Life range, no, light range of like visible spectrum or something around those lines. I'm not like a physician or physics, right? Physician is something else in English. Anyway, they are the extremes of like the visible light spectrum. And in the center is like a greenish color that is actually jade or like some sort of green. And fun fact is that the previous game, Legend Arceus, had its region named Hisui. And Hisui meant jade. So there are some theories in there that could be connecting Legend Arceus to Scarlet and Violet about the light spectrum as well. That's a very crazy theory, but it does have some coincidences in there. Because the jade color is right in the center of the light spectrum. And then also it connects to the mysterious item that's on the Japanese logo of the games, like the crystal that looks like a sun, and then the sun is all about light. So there is something going on that could be regarding the light spectrum. I'm seeing a lot of references for something called Project Lumina. These files are really corrupt. It looks like it might have had something to do with brain augmentation. It's not argumentation, it's augmentation. But I can't find any details. Yes, and then jade was considered by old China to be a jewel that connects to the soul, right? Like to spirits. Hence why this one character Maya Fey from Phoenix Wright has a Magatama that's made of jade. Not to lose the opportunity for something that only Gabriel probably will understand right now, because he's also Brazilian. Since we are talking about Jade, let's hope that Jade will be eliminated from Big Brother Brazil, right, Gabriel? Jade, that's is under some complications right now in the show, or in the reality show. Speaking of Jade, I hope that Jade gets out. I know you don't care, but I wanted to kind of have the reference chance in here. That Jade was made from dragon semen though. That's why it's so divine. It brought all the good lucks. Isn't it crazy how I mean, I know you're saying that and it sounds like odd, but I know you know a lot about myths, legends, and culture and everything. So I know it sounds odd, but you are right on that. But then isn't it crazy how they come up with like those things of like, oh, it's made of dragon semen, but it's divine, and like, hi? Yeah, you see, it's like, what the heck? If it were maybe somebody else telling me that, I would be like, you're joking, right? But because it's you saying or telling me that, I'm kind of like, it is that, but isn't it crazy? These files are really corrupt, and then brain augmentation, but I can't find details. If it led to what we see around us, it can't be, or it can't have been good. So Project Lumina, should I write that down? You know what, I'm writing that down. I'm writing that down as a side quest of like, figuring out Project Lumina. Speaking on side quests, that's one thing that I hope that the new Pokemon games can get. Just like Legend Arceus had side quests, it would increase the game's experience, you know, with more things to do. I hope they bring that back to Scarlet and Violet. Oh, I forgot to mention one theory of mine for the games. First of all, I was thinking that because it's based on Portugal and Spain and colonization, exploration, navigation, there were some things that could be pointing to those ideas in the trailer. I first thought that the villains, or like the evil team of those Pokemon games, could be something regarding pirates. Even though we kinda had Team Aqua in the past that were kinda inspired by pirates, and also Team Skull as well with their looks. But now I got another idea. If this game, or maybe I should say these games, are really about the light spectrum regarding Ultraviolet and Infrared Scarlet, and then Jade in the center, if it is all about the light, what if the villains are actually the opposite? What if the villains of this region or this generation are going to be fighting for monochromatic? Like, they are going to be black and white villains of like, I hate colors, I want everything to be black and white or gray or something like that. Maybe that won't be the case, but that was another idea that I thought, or prediction, for what could be the villain of this game. And that could be interesting in my opinion, like a villain that wants to get rid of light, you know, of the planet or something. Sounds a little bit like the legendary Necrozma from Sun and Moon, because that's what he does. He kind of absorbs light. But we need to see. Honestly, I think that Scarlet and Violet is just gonna be Sword and Shield 2. Regarding the plot, do you mean? Because regarding the mechanics, I think it's looking closer to Legend Arceus than Sword and Shield. Although Sword and Shield had the wild area, right? The wild area. Yeah, maybe they won't give us the, let's say, throw the Pokeball and capture mechanic, and then it would be like you gotta start a fight against the Pokemon. I really hope they saw how much people liked the mechanics of Arceus, and then they can really focus on that for this game. Regarding everything, seriously. Because regarding the plot, I gotta confess that I'm not expecting some sort of amazing plot or mind-blowing plot for the games, especially because I think since Gen 5 we didn't have any Pokemon game with like amazing, incredible plot. And then it's okay in my opinion because it never has been the main thing of Pokemon. But regarding the mechanics, I hope they don't make it just like Sword and Shield. Your expectations for a mainline Pokemon games are just average now, really? It's funny, mister, you say that, because everybody else that I have been talking to, and myself included, we are surprisingly hyped for this game. At the same time, I know it's not going to be the perfect Pokemon game, of course not, because there is still like a huge improvement that needs to be done for us to be getting that. But I do have some hype, And I blame that hype for two reasons. First, what happened to Legendary Arceus? I was surprisingly um, a fan of the game. Like, I haven't played it myself, but it surprised me on positive notes more than what I was expecting. Like, even though it has its problems, I I was imagining it would fail way more, and that was not the case. I actually looked a somewhat very fun game. So I had a good impression from Legend Arceus, and then as I could see some things in common between the two games on this trailer, plus this game was dropped like without any warnings, or like it dropped out of a surprise or out of nowhere. I was also positively impacted by it because I had no expectations, and then there is a new generation, you know. So that's why I have this hype for the game. But yes, it could be a disappointment, especially if it goes on the lines of Sword and Shield again, because Sword and Shield to me was... They lost me especially because it didn't have the national decks, and then now that that idea kinda settled on my mind, and then I'm pretty sure we won't have the national decks for Violet and Scarlet as well, but at least it was not the first time it's like... or at least I'm not going to be that surprised again, because it happened on Sword and Shield. I think I will take it okay, even though I wish we could have the national decks. But yeah, Sword and Shield was a tasteless game in my opinion. It was one of the worst generations in my opinion. Don't get me wrong, I did like Sword and Shield, but fatigue is getting to you. The Pokemon plots are like the Power Rangers plots, yes, right? They always beat the evil and then that's it, they save the day. What I don't get is why people have the highest expectations for characters and plot. I actually don't. For Pokemon games, I do not. I think it's extra and it could be amazing if they could have a good, let's say, plot in there. But yeah, for Pokemon games, it's not what it's not what makes the Pokemon games to me. I prefer having like things to do in the world, or like exploration, and if possible, all of the Pokemon to be in the game, because I love playing with Pokemon that people normally don't pick. I love to play with like underrated Pokemon, or just the ones I love, and then not having the ability to like experience them or try them with like fancy and crazy weird strategies makes me sad. But I guess, like I said, now I'm getting used to this because they didn't do that in Sword and Shield. But yeah, the plot is not the main thing. It's more about the mechanics, if it has a good multiplayer or an online. And then also the mechanics of Sword and Shield, I hated it. Like the Dynamax thing, it didn't get to me at all. Bring back Mega Evolution, please. A big complaint you see all the time is the story sucks. Yeah, Gen 5 is the one that's well known for having the best plot. But, fun fact, Gen 5 is my least favorite generation. I agree it has an amazing plot regarding, or at least in comparison to the other Pokemon games. But then the rest of Gen 5 didn't get to me. Or it felt very generic, or like it didn't feel as original as some other regions. It felt a lot like a attempt to bring back Gen 1, Gen 2, like the early generations, but it's done differently that could not get to me. While the other generations had more personality in my opinion, but of course the plot of Gen 5 stands out on how it has some more complexity than the others, especially in comparison to Gen 6. Like Gen 6, the game that came out just after. The plot of Gen 6 is like horrible. And then Gen 6 is one of my favorite Pokemon games. But then why? Because of the hype of the time, because of the 3D graphics. Mega Evolution was great, and especially how fun it was, the multiplayer mode of it. But also, I can also compliment the music. I loved Gen 6 music. Gen 5 also has good music, it has. But I don't like as many tracks of Gen 5 as I like in Gen 6. You love talking Pokemon with people? Me too. I freaking grew up with Pokemon, so I love it and I will always love it, even though it has all sorts of problems. Because everyone always have at least, or everyone always has at least one interesting take. Did I have one? Gen 5 being the worst, it is my least favorite because it feels generic to me. It feels like let's copy Gen 1, but it's not Gen 1. That's my feeling towards it. And then the region itself did not get to me. And you know what's the worst? The sequel, Black and White 2, I struggled to finish that game. I was like forcing myself to finish it on how much it did not get to me. But I finished it as a Pokemon fan. But maybe there are other motives as well that I never really, let's say, connect the dots, but I'm doing it now. The anime of Gen 5 is also not that great, especially for Black and White 2. I even did not watch the anime for Black and White 2 because I couldn't. But like for Black and White, the anime sucked as well, you know? While the anime for Gen 6 was amazing, even for Sun and Moon was great too. The anime for Sun and Moon is better than what people think. I will forever assert that Gen 7 is the worst. Here's what I'm going to tell you. Even though I still haven't played it, maybe Gen 8 would be my least favorite. Sword and Shield. Because I had so many disappointments on that game. Maybe when I play it myself, I can be more surprised on it and then change my mind. But yeah, since Gen 5, I didn't feel hyped for a Pokemon game like I didn't feel for Sword and Shield. At first I was hyped, but then every news I was getting, they were, making me feel bad. And then once I watched the playthrough of the game, I was like, seriously, that's it? It felt incomplete. Maybe that's the way I can describe what makes me upset about Sword and Shield. It feels incomplete. Maybe with the DLCs, it gets better, and then I think it does, since people did complement the DLCs of Sword and Shield. But there is something there that feels incomplete. It could be the national dex, it could be the plot that's like nonsense, it's like, is there a plot in there? I don't know, there is something in that region that feels incomplete to me. And I gotta say that many people criticize Gen 6, Kalos, because it also feels incomplete. But then thankfully I had a better impression because of the multiplayer. The multiplayer was the best, like I had so much fun playing the multiplayer of Pokemon Y. I think I showed this some streams ago, but I will do it again, mister, because you are here and new here. To show you my love to Pokemon Y. I think that images can be better than words, right? So I'll just show you something that proves my love to Pokemon Y. Is it my favorite? No, my favorite is actually Gen 2, Johto, and then second favorite is actually Gen 4. But Pokemon Y is my third favorite. Maybe Pokemon opinions vary so much because people have different preferences for what they're looking for in Pokemon games, right? For me, I'm looking for mechanics, multiplayer, and being able to have as many Pokemon I can because I love using the underrated Pokemon like I mentioned. So on my 3DS, there is the history of games you have played. The first place on those rankings is my Pokemon Y playthrough with those amount of hours. I hope you can see it. It's like 3,100, I think. right? 3,153. I have done the calculations before, and that big amount of hours is like a month. It's like I played this game for a whole month of my life. So that's how much I enjoyed playing the multiplayer of this game. It's because it was fun. And extra fun with the new 3D graphics we were getting for the first time. And then once they jumped into Sun and Moon, the multiplayer was not as fun as before because they changed the interface, right? They created that crazy Festival Plaza thing that was so bad. They tried to make it more complicated or like more fancy, and then it backfired. When it was simple and effective in X and Y, it worked perfectly. And then in Sun and Moon, they complicated it at all. But yes, Y was fantastic to me because of the multiplayer. Let me catch with the chat. Gen 5 being the worst was a first for you. I will forever assert that Gen 7 is the worst. Gen 7, in my opinion, was good at first, but the more you kind of heard about it and played it, the worse it was getting. It was a region that got old fast, basically. But in the beginning, it was not too bad. But it got bad quick, you know? Especially by the time they released the Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, I did not even play that game. There is a spin series called Diabolical The Boys animated miniseries. It's pretty good. Is it on Prime? Prime Video? All of the 8 episodes are short, like 12 to 14 minutes. All episodes have a different style of animation story. And then the first one is Hanna-Barbera style? Since we were also talking about Pokemon, that reminds me of the Pokemon specials. And they have the Poketoon episodes. Not to mention the Pokemon Evolutions. Have you guys watched the Pokemon Evolution series? They were all amazing. Even the Gen 5 episodes, like the one they will show us a story of Unova, which is my least favorite region. The episode was amazing. But my favorite probably was the Johto one because it was so beautiful done. You don't mind the plot? Yes, I kinda don't mind the plot that much as well. Like I said, it's more like an extra. It's good when we get it, but at the same time, it's... In the case of Sword and Shield, I gotta admit, because the plot was not making a difference to me, it made me a little bit disappointed. Also because, like, the rest of the game was disappointing me. So if only the plot could surprise me, but not even that. So yeah, freaking Sword and Shield was such a disappointment to me. Because I know the plot's not the major thing, but it can make you feel better towards the game, right? For example, I don't have any problems to admit that Gen 5 has an amazing plot, even though it's not my favorite gen. But I will always say I adore the way Gen 1 does tell its story. It's almost all done indirectly and through the environment. That's how many games used to be, right? Even Sonic. I was even watching a video about Sonic 3, and then they were saying that Angel Island Zone from Sonic 3 is one of their favorite levels because not only Angel Island and Sky Sanctuary, they both tell you a story during the level as you progress in the level, only by, you know, Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles and the enemies moving around. And then there is no words. Yeah, it's the same magic of Pokemon Gen 1 and everything. It's like you get it by context and by the visuals and by the reactions and by gameplay as well. Like as you are controlling the character, you can get what's going on. It's not like, oh, let's go guys, 2 hours of tutorials for explaining you the plot of the game. Sun and Moon was that. That's actually what I'm concerned about Scarlet and Violet. I hope they don't lock the game as they did in Sun and Moon. Because if it's going to be open world, like open the gates, throw people to explore wherever they want to go, and then even like if there is like a certain city they gotta go first to progress, don't make them only go there. Like let them go elsewhere and then find their, let's say, high leveled Pokemon they cannot fight or something, and then they will realize, oh, this is not really the path I should be going. Let me go on the other direction. But don't make it as locked as Sun and Moon. Sun and Moon was like, take 5 steps tutorial, take 10 steps tutorial, turn right tutorial. It was so bad. But still, I still liked Sun and Moon in the beginning. You know, when you didn't need a 3-minute cutscene telling you where to go. Yeah, Sun and Moon. Maybe that's why you have Sun and Moon as your least favorite, right? That was Sun and Moon so much. That's about as much hours if someone plays Counter-Strike or League of Legends for 5 years, you see? It is a lot of time. It's probably more than a month, I think. But that's how much I love the multiplayer. I played it every day. All Pokemon series that are not about Ash are great. I don't know if I would say all of them, but many of them for sure. But you know what? Maybe, probably you're right. I cannot remember all of them right now, but Pokemon Evolutions was great, Generations, and then the Pokétunes. The special they had for the Galar region as well. Now they're doing the special for Hisui. If it led to what we see around us, it can't have been good. Oh, wait, my controller was doing its thing now. Wait a minute. There we go. Mister, what is your favorite Pokemon generation? Gabriel's favorite is actually 5, right? I can't go into the vents. We have those robots right there. Can I go there? I can. Have I been here? Oh wait, this is the other side of where the dino was stuck, right? That's where Alisa started the exploration, I think. Gen 3, you assert it's objectively the most well-designed, well-presented, and has the best content. Should I reveal that to you? So, Gen 3 was actually my second least favorite. But I'm changing that. Especially now after Sun and Moon and after Galar, like Sword and Shield. Yeah, for me now, Gen 3 is better than those 2 games, for sure. But it used to be my second least favorite. I'm not sure why though. It is not a bad region by any sorts. I love the contests. It was a nice improvement, or like a nice minigame to be there. Oh, I think I know why. I think it's because the music. But the music is good, don't get me wrong. But I prefer the piano from Gen 4 and the style of Gen 2 and 1 music than the trumpets from Gen 3. But don't get me wrong, all of the Pokemon songs are great, but I think the music in there, you know, had a part on that. Because then once I got to Gen 4 and the piano, I was in love with that soundtrack. But Gen 3 has this magic on me. The more I I check it out, and even the more I play it, the more I like it. Especially because now I got that 3DS, it's like something I bought last December, and it came with Alpha Ruby. So I'm also going to play Alpha Ruby at some point for the first time, and then I do think it's going to change my mind a little bit towards Gen 3, and then I'm going to like it more, right? Yeah, not great Pokemon there in 5, but Joltik is love. Joltik is life. He's not the tiniest Pokemon anymore, right? I think it's now Flabebe. Your least favorite is 4? Can you point the reasons why, Gabriel? It's something that doesn't surprise me that much. Because, for example, something that I have been saying that I wish Sword and Shield, for example, had, which was like a larger variety of Pokemon, the National Dex and stuff, Gen 4 also doesn't have, especially for Fire-type Pokemon, like it's super limited. So it's a bit like I'm a bit like a hypocrite, because I'm saying that, oh, I expect that Gen 8 had more Pokemon, but then Gen 4 doesn't have as many, and then I love Gen 4, right? But it's because the music, the champion... How many times I actually played that game, the replayability of it made me like it more and more. I like the difficulty. It's not a very easy Pokemon game. I mean, all Pokemon games are kind of easy, but this Gen 4 has a difficulty. And yes, most of it is the music. The music in there makes me love everywhere I go, everything I do in the game, so it's a big part. But then I cannot be surprised if there are people that don't like Gen 4 as much, because it does have problems. I'm talking Emerald and then Fire Red Leaf Green. Not to mention the... Oh, I still gotta play the XD games. And also the Colosseum. Yeah, Colosseum games. Mystery Dungeon I played only one, I think the first one. It was okay, but I did not fall in love for it. But I do plan on playing more Mystery Dungeon games. The spin-off Pokemon game that I wanted to be back is Ranger. I used to love Pokemon Ranger. Or Pokemon Stadium minigames. I would be down for those too. Although the campaign mode of Pokemon Stadium is something that I still gotta do myself. I never played Pokemon Stadium on the campaign mode. Someday on stream, I hope I can do that. But the minigames were super fun. It's mostly regard and due how bad traveling in general in Gen 4 is. Traveling? Especially those special dungeons around. That was a very specific reason, I was not expecting that, the dungeons? Do you mean like Mount Coronet? You didn't like to explore those? So we have Cimerex again. And the security... Oh! Okay, they are like... You fought them separately. Let's combine everybody, shall we? First we should beat the minions, right? The weaker ones. They don't have weaknesses though. You know what? I'm going to start with Inspire. For 3 turns. Okay, I have an idea. I'm saving Inspire for later though. But I do have an idea. Oh! The new weapon from Alyssa! Look at that! It's finally showing its use. Let's go for that piercing attack. And then Sean can focus. I mean, never mind. On the next turn she focus. Don't attack Dave, please. So I got a hyper from Alyssa. I'm going to start attacking the main guy because of the opportunity I have right now. And then Dave gotta heal himself. And then Sean will focus. Are you guys getting what I'm going to do? Don't kill her! Maybe my strategy won't work. No, I'm making it to work. It will work. Because I still have my potion, right? Inspire on Sean. That's going to be a waste on his hyper, but it's for a good reason, because Sean is going to break them down. With hyper, inspire, and focus. So now, we can go for everybody with this. I was expecting more damage, to be honest. Yeah, that was a lot of preparation for not as much damage like I was hoping for. But at least we got rid of one of them, so that's good. Although now we gotta start recharging. Because I just healed the wrong person. Good. But wait a minute. Yes, Can I protect? I can! Oh my god! I can use Aegis on Alyssa. Thank goodness I have that. Although the poisoning is not fun. Oh, the poisoning. Oh, she survived! But I don't have potion. But I have this, I have this, I have this. There we go! We are still win. He's getting his hyper on the next round, so I'm saving Zap for that. This is for stunning, right? I think I should get his healing ability back. And then Sean got hers, but at the same time I gotta start attacking. How much HP? 59? I think I can kill that. I think I can kill that. There we go. So Alyssa recharge. And then Dave got his hyper. And then Sean needs to heal. Nice. Now I can heal Sean. Dave is also recharged, so we can heal Alyssa. Wait. Never mind, that can be the play. And then Sean attacks with her hyper. Good. I did not notice she was getting to another hyper, but everything is planned here, right? Everything was planned. Fire Torch. She got her hyper, and she can't heal Sean. Nobody will be able to heal Sean actually, but he's almost dead, right? He is. We good. There we go. Thank goodness he was dying, because another round and I don't think I would be able to take care of Sean. Gen 4 can be summoned in one word or summed up in one word. Is low. It's a slow game. I don't know, I never thought about it that way. Your favorite sleep inducer is booting up Diamond using close combat against a Blissey. Oh, do you mean the... I see, maybe the animations and stuff? And waiting like 2 minutes for the health bar to go down. The music, this one music, I agree. The normal battle music, like a Street Fighter. Speaking on Street Fighter, did you see that Capcom had this one website with a timer for like, oh, once the timer is down, we have an announcement, and then people were like, oh, Resident Evil 8 DLC or something like that, or Resident Evil 4 Remake, or Resident Evil 4 HD. And then in the end they announced Street Fighter 6, but the fun part is that I was actually woke by the time they were going to make the announcement, and I was like, okay, let me see what's going on the website. The timer finished its time. There was no announcement, and then I was like seeing people raging on Twitter of like, Capcom, are you crazy? You hype people up and then you announce nothing? Come on! And then I went to bed. I gave up on waiting, but that was such a fail that they had a timer and then the timer ran down or like it finished counting, no announcements. And then everybody was like, what? What is going on? And then on the next day I saw it was Street Fighter 6. Gen 4 was wait, it was overly, that's a new word for me. It was overly just slow combat, slow animation, slow paced. The music as well. The music is very slow going, although I love it. I love how I was talking about Gen 4's music, and then the game gave me a piano part, right? Just like Gen 4. That was very... It was a very good timing for that. I could probably finish Gen 2's Dex. Oh, no. Then you are exaggerating now. Come on. As fast as you could finish Gen 4. Not National, but just the base Dex. I mean, although there are more Pokemon in Gen 4, right? I think. I thought they had to wait until the Street Fighter 5 tournament was over. Was that why they took long? Maybe that's why, and then I was just thinking they forgot about the announcement. Oh, that was not a word, it was a typo, but I kinda got the idea you were saying in there. But that was such a fail by Capcom. This must be the inner sanctum. Finally, this better be worth the effort. I have a good question for you, mister. As you seem to be a big Pokemon fan as well, I wonder if you have ever thought about this one idea. And honestly, I don't remember if I asked this to Gabrielle or Yoda before, so maybe that could work for them as well. But if you could choose a city in the Pokemon universe to live in, where would you live in the Pokemon universe? My living city is Ecruteak City, because it is my favorite city in the Pokemon history. Although my second city is Canalave City from Gen 4. And then I'm pretty sure I kinda made up a list in the past with another friend of like, on each region, where is your favorite city? But now I probably will pick different cities because I want... Oh, never mind, maybe not. Maybe on Gen 3, I would like to live in Fortree, maybe? Or have a... Oh no, Soultopolis. Yes, I would live in Soultopolis, I think that city is awesome. Gen 1, probably Vermilion. I would like to live in Vermilion City. Gen 5, I would live... I'm not sure where I would... Oh, Undella Town, because I love the music of Undella Town. Yes, I was even listening to it one of these days while I was sunbathing. Especially the music for spring, winter, and fall, right? Not the summer song. Undella Town for that. Gen 6, I think I would live... Oh, yes, in... Wait, I'm not sure, but... I'm between Coumarin City or... No, never mind. I think I would live in Anistar City. Yes, I love the song of Anistar City. Gen 7... I'm not sure. Maybe... I forgot how is the name of the city. I think it's Hia City. It's like the main city of Akala Island. Hia City, right? Hia City or something. I think I would live there. And then Gen 8. Honestly, Gen 8 I don't have an opinion, because I still should play the game to choose a city, although the snow city there looks good. And I also like some ice-type Pokemon, so maybe that, but I'm not certain. But yes, I would live in Ecruteak City. It's my favorite city in the Pokemon universe. Oh, easily Lily Cove. Lily Cove is a good pick as well. But I would go for Zootopolis. We need to live in a Pokemon City? Yes, because I want it. A city per gen? I went that way, but you can just give us a simple answer of like, out of every city, which one? It is a beautiful place. It has the contest, has the department store, right by the ocean. Yeah. Yeah, Lily Cove is a good pick too. I said Fortree because in the when I was a kid, Fortree City was like my favorite because of the music. But then with time, I changed that into Zootopolis. Actually, Gabriel is saying he would not like to live anywhere in a Pokemon world. Are you serious? Not even in Lavender Town, man? Come on. Everyone wants to live in Lavender Town. Wait. We are being watched. I appreciate the amount of cutscenes this game has. Like, it's not every game. Oh god. Holy Jesus, Dragon Quest! Well, this is seriously the Mecha Dino. I was not expecting the, you know, Metal Coat evolution here for Steelix or Caesar, but sure, it happened. God. So this is it. This is the final battle for the night. Oh! Look where Dave is. Is Dave already running to hide? We're going to die! We're going to die! We're going to die! Dave is one of those, you know, annoying characters in a horror movie. He's one of those guys. Pull it together! And then Alyssa is the survivor in a horror movie. We're not going to die, not here. Move into formation. Here we go again. What is your description now? Is it different? The Beast X. Part beast, part machine. I love how they really upgraded his HP though. Prepare for a long battle. At least they're not saying he gets berserk as it goes on, right? If it is just a long battle, sure. Just don't get stronger. Okay, maybe I should go for the same strategies as before. But I'm doing it faster now, because you have your hyper next turn. Maybe a hyper plus defense break could be good. Or should I use the defense break for Dave's and Sean's hypers? I'm using it now. Okay, so we got Inspire, we got Hyper, and then he's weak to water. Yes, I'll use Dave's healing on Alyssa. Then I'm waiting for Chon's hyper next turn. Man, he doesn't like Alice at all. First aid on herself. And then hyper. Zap. And fire torch. Okay, now everybody gotta recharge. Dave would only be able to heal himself with the potion. But I don't wanna... Mister, thank you so much for the follow. I don't wanna waste it right now. So... I will just defend and hope he doesn't die. And then... Oh wait, I have a heal blaster, never mind, I can heal him. But the next turn... Nice, that was not a strong attack. Next turn, Chon recharges. And now Alisa got to her hyper water attack. Okay, Dave is back. His hyper is on next turn, so we use Zap there. But he doesn't have many attacking moves now. He only has Zap and the one I already... Oh wait! After recharging this comes back? I didn't know that. Or have I not used this before? I kind of felt I did. But sure, perfect, because it didn't have anything to do with him. Now I will recharge with Chon. Okay, we gotta do some healings. Everybody got a heal though. Let's save Dave. Dave is the one that gets hurt the most. I'm attacking, I'm taking this risk. And then Chon is back. Focus. Okay, I took the risk for the best. Chon will heal everybody next. So we can attack now. Or, actually, maybe she should recharge. Dave doesn't have his program anymore. But he could recharge. Yeah, if he recharges now, although that would be a waste of his like healing ability, but if he recharges now, never mind, it's better for him to recharge next turn, because then on the third turn I can have the zap ready for a hyper. So I'm actually going to use one of these things. His style is at 100% though. It sounds better than trying to stun the enemy, I think. This boss will not get stunned, so increase your style. And then now we heal everybody with Heal Blaster. Okay, I'm attacking. Dave is healing himself. Or zapping. He's healing himself because we don't have healers right now, right? Besides the potion. And Chon is recharging. Never mind, we have this on Chon. Dave is... oh my god, what a waste! He has his hyper but no ways of attacking. Recharge. Don't go for Alisa, please. Although I could heal her, but I would rather heal everybody next turn. Thank goodness it's now the next turn, because otherwise I would die. Alisa, go for Inspire, because you are going to come back dominating this fight. It's like your life is going... Are you kidding me? Dave's health though. I was thinking she could be alive until the end of the turns. She was only alive for her turn. How much health do you still have? Lots. Oh boy. But sure, this is only over when it's over, right? Sean is next, healing everybody. From now on, Sean will only be doing that. Although I gotta cause damage, otherwise this fight's never going to end. Oh my goodness. Sean is going to go down right now. Man, I'm going I'm going for the freaking negative health strategies, right? It is kind of working, but if I lose my timing in here, I'm dead. Which probably is going to happen. But oh, the potion! Oh my god. Yeah, now it's... Man, he clutched this one. How? Can he survive? He won't survive. But he gotta survive. Come on. He did. That's okay. That's okay. That's not okay. No, Alisa, why did you have to die? Holy shit, I got so close though. If I get another hyper, guys, there is a chance, but it's too much, like 279. We can cause 200, but I don't think it's 279. But we are getting very close, actually. If only there were crits. But yeah, that's my last move because I can't heal myself and I'm dead after this, right? So, can you crit? Heck yes! Holy fuck! Jesus! Alisa, I blame you for anything. Or maybe I should say nothing, right? Nothing anymore. Like, you did nothing wrong. Because your best buddies in here got this. Come on! Man, the freaking negative health strategies. And we got knockout. A weak physical attack that also made... Okay. I mean, causing some damage is better than nothing, I guess. Dude! And then they've got System Crash. It deals damage, may inflict rust. Oh, okay, we have something for robotic, nice. Like poison for them. I bet everybody here thought that I would lose this fight, myself included. But look at me here, never give up. I still don't know how he only had 200 HP in the end, like after all of my healing and defenses, but there we go. Wait, is Mr. Living? Thank you so much for stopping by, nice to meet you. I catch you later, I'm sorry that I was focused on the fight and then I couldn't say proper goodbyes. But I'm actually leaving right now because I'm going to watch Big Brother Brazil. I have got this song stuck in your head the whole week. You're like doing anything and then ban? Which song? Oh, Lumio City? Oh my god, the Electric Gym City. I hate the city, which was Nimbasa. I don't like the city, but I love the gym. Like Ilessa's gym and her music. It is probably one of my favorite gyms ever in the Pokemon universe, but I don't like this city though. But Lumio's city is okay, yeah. It's maybe just, let's say, a metropolis or two metropolis for me, but it is out of the metropolis, it's the best, in my opinion. Sean MVP for sure. That was a crit. I mean, I don't know if this game has a crit, but it felt like one. I also love how on every freaking RPG I play, there is always a moment like this. There was a moment on Xenogears, not only one, many. Including one that the protagonist, Faye, right? His name? Faye died, and then the NPC that was in my party won the fight. I love that I can get this luck with some certain frequency on the RPG games I'm playing. I was giving up, but there we go. And I got a shield and I got an achievement. It's back is the name of the achievement. And then it shows the Dino Monster. Ooh, first try, right, Sean? Sean, you are fantastic. What a mix of intelligent, psychic, Magatama spiritual Jade user, and martial artist you are. And strategist as well. We did it, right? No way that monster is coming back from that, but now I learned a lesson that when they are on negative health, maybe I won't have those all turns for me to act, right? I gotta act instantly. On that turn they are having at the moment. Now let's find out what's so important here. I will find that out. And then after we figure that out, we finish the stream. Ooh, I found something! I got a strange device. Although, okay, I'm going to criticize something on this game. We don't have an inventory list, like all of the items I collect that are not usable in battles, I do not have a way to check them. So that's a problem in my opinion. But thankfully I was risking myself to get stuck again somewhere in a corner. But with rewards, right? Finding items in here. I can take this too. What's this? Another strange device. By the way, can I mention I'm going to tell you a story. I was saying that I'm going to be a little bit scared for the third shot this week, right? The booster. But there are other things that make me scared that could be simple. Like, if you stop to think about it, they are kind of simple things in life. That, because I never tried doing them before, it kind of scares me. A good example was, like, lighting a match. It took me forever to finally get a match and light it by my own for the first time. And it's because I always thought it was more complicated or like I would get burned or something. Anyway, it took longer than regular brave people take to do that. Another thing is like peeling a pineapple. I always felt like, oh, it's going to hurt, it's going to like, you know, cut me, or like going to be rough. And then once in my life I finally sliced the pineapple and I peeled it, although it was a lot of work. So for a while my oven hasn't been working properly. Like the automatic ignition, or like the automatic lighter, was not working. I was like, I want to bake a pizza, and then I was like minutes and minutes and half hour, an hour trying to light the oven and nothing happened. And then I have always heard of those people that were like, oh, just open the gas source and then, use a lighter, a match, or something to catch it on fire. I always had the biggest fear of doing that because I always felt it's going to explode. I'm going to die. So not only I recently accomplished my childhood's goal of beating Sonic 2 without save states, I also have lost my fear on lighting an oven with a match. I of course watched YouTube videos to feel more brave towards that, to not like do it wrong or think it's going to give me like a flare by the time I was placing the match close. And I even learned a lot about the functioning of the oven. And then I realized, no, it's simple. Like the automatic oven it basically does the same as I'm going to do just with a match, right? So yes, I want to share that I accomplished that achievement in my life. That probably for whoever is watching this, like, holy shit, this guy's a coward. Like, he's scared of lighting an oven with a match. Come on, I can light a barbecue. I'm like pro level of fire, pyromaniac. I'm like a pyromaniac level 5, 100 or something, and then this guy's like a noob at pyromaniac skills. I know, but I'm leveling up. So wait for me, one day I'll get there. I'll be doing my own barbecue from like rocks that I'm doing this to them with, like, I'm in the wilds making my own fire source with rocks and wood. But yes, I also accomplished that, and I'm proud of myself because for the longest time I was scared of doing such a thing, and now I can bake my pizzas without spending minutes and not understanding why is the oven not working or getting the fire there. I still don't understand, to be honest, because I also looked up on videos that kind of tell the people or teach the people to, like, here's what you need to do in order to fix if your oven is not lighting the fire. And then it's probably because where the ignition part is located at, it's a bit distant from where the gas source is, although it's not too distant. And I can see the electrical spark, getting there, but it doesn't light anything, and I don't understand. How is not that working? So I gave up, and then I faced my fear of lighting an oven myself. And now I feel more independent, I feel more brave, and I'm proud of myself, even though this sounds like, oh, come on, this guy's, he can do nothing. Yeah, but I have respect on myself right now. Anyway, I just wanted to share that with you. Fun facts about my intimate life. Great evolution, thank you so much. Oh, wait a minute, do you mean regarding the boss fight, like the second round? It reminds you of shaving for the first time. This reminds me of like frying an egg for the first time. Yeah, that was also another goal in my life. Like opening the egg and not splatting everything around. Also, when I was learning how to bake, or how to cook an ice cream, another thing I was uncertain if I would have the dexterity to do it was like separating the yolk from the egg white. And I was there like doing the science and placing them on the eggshell, and I did it as well. One step per day and a high progression for my personal growth, right? I do take some baths under something that mixes electrical energy and water, that's true. It's the electrical shower. We had that talk before. I love them, and they are maybe as dangerous as the gas heaters, right? Some of the gas heaters are even forbidden here. You gotta have the firefighters to come to your house and kinda permit you to have a gas heater and stuff. You're brave enough. Yeah, that was one of those simple things, but not too simple for me personally. But I'm happy that now I can have my pizzas, and then I don't need to like stress myself over the oven not working. And then I also don't need to buy a new one, right? I can keep on using this one. I just need to be buying matches. But anyway, guys, that's it for today. Let me save. Thank you so much for stopping by. Thankfully today we had a lot of chatting, but also we were able to progress. Even though we got stuck in the game, but thanks to this one, this on save system, we were free from that stuck moment. But thank you so much. Have a great week. Next time we are going to... Never mind. Never mind. Never mind. What is going on in here? Yeah, I got the items, but I still don't know what's going on in here, right? So we can see what's going on in here today. Let's see what this baby has inside. Jackpot. What did you find? Thousands of uncorrupted files detailing their research in here. It's gonna take a while to dig through all of this. Downloading everything. We'll turn it into the agency when we get back for analysis. Will do. Okay, so did we get everything? So never mind, they are going to tell us what the heck is happening only in the agency, it seems. We're going to watch... Yeah, I'm going to watch Big Brother. You're out to have dinner. I'm already late for Big Brother, but I can catch what I'm missing on Global Play, the streaming service. But yes, I think I will just go back to the agency and see if that's going to be long or not. I think that's everything, Mike. We'll be out on the surface over by the target in 10 minutes requesting extraction. Copy that, over and out. Finally, Mike is showing up as well. I'm still not sure if he's an AI or if he's a person. Wait, who's that? A rat? New character! Spooky music! It's not in here, I was too late. What is the floating core next to you? Maybe she's part of the terrorists. Maybe she's in the Astria group, right? Oh, the AI is still here. They blew past all obstacles. The API is training its agents well these days. I do like her team. And now they have the device in their possession. This is bad. I mean, we just got some scraps. Were they just scraps? A minor setback, if it's a setback at all, given a few years. No, waiting is unacceptable. My time is finite. Is she going to the agency to fight us? I can't get the device myself, but what if... Song intensifies? Yes, this could work. I think she's going to bait us. The strange devices you found at the lab have been transferred to a secure API storage facility for analysis. Good job, everyone. It's really late. I will see you tomorrow. Later! Good job, Sean. We are only seeing that tomorrow thanks to your victory against that boss. Good night. Time to call it a day. More cutscenes. If they wanted, they could make an anime out of this game. Am I going to the Velvet Room or something? What? No, that was just a nightmare, right? Yes, that was just a nightmare. Although, probably that could be a part of this game's plot, and if that's really it, this game's plot will be crazy. It did feel real. What if it is real? Can you please remove your cap so I can look at your hair and your head? Maybe there is a device in there, an antenna. You hear a tapping on the door. Hey Alyssa, get up, we need to talk to you. Man, the animations for the sprites here are great. Portable gaming is the way to go, but not on a mission. I think I will stop it here then. Wow, what the heck was that dream? I also don't get the chapter's name, but it's not over, so maybe they can get more explanations towards that. But guys, great progression today, so thank you so much for stopping by, for the chatting. Have a great week. Hopefully I survive the third shot, and I'll be here next Sunday for more. So take care, stay safe, and goodbye.